Have you ever noticed this? You pray for change, you fast for change, you speak change, but somehow you keep getting the same results. Here's the truth: God can open the door, the heavens can open, but the you walking through the door must match the blessings behind it. Your identity determines your manifestation. You will never rise higher than the identity you agree with. So tonight, we're going to shift identity. This is a shifting of identity because you cannot take 49 days of transformation into a new future where you're carrying outdated version of yourself. We are in day 7 of the Manifest Greater Reset Challenge, and I'm telling you, if you hang with me at the end of the 49 days, you will understand that Father has called you to manifest greater. You will see the manifestation in your life like never before. I am Lady Cordia Bishop. I am your host, and this is the 49-day Manifest Greater Reset Challenge. Yes, it is a reset. It's going to go well into 2026, but we are prepared. No more delays, no more setbacks, no more walking in circles and never ever getting to a place that God has desire for you and that you have desire for yourself. So let's go on into today's teaching. So we're talking about the identity shift. So Proverbs 23 verse 7 says, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. It's not as he feels, it's not as he hopes, but as he thinks in his heart. That is his identity. What do you say about you? What do you view yourself as? As Jesus said to the disciples, who do you say I am? Who do men say that I am? Who do they say that I am? But not only that, who do you say that you are? Because identity decides what you pursue. Identity decides what you tolerate. Your identity decides what you attract, what you believe is possible. So the results isn't random. It's rooted in your identity. It decides your entire life based off what you say that you are. If you feel that you're less than, then that is your identity. If you feel that because life have thrown you so many curveballs that you can never manifest greater, then that is who you are. So a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. Your thoughts, right? This is about what you believe about yourself, what you think about yourself, how you see yourself, how you view yourself. Have you ever talked to someone and they say, well, you're not going to believe me anyway? Or they may say, nothing, nobody ever listens to me. Or they may say something negative about themselves and you'll say, I don't feel that way about you. I've had several people will say in a conversation, and I've done it too, when I was insecure about something, they will say, well, you may think I'm crazy. Girl, you may think I'm crazy. I don't think you're crazy. And I make it my business to respond and say, no, I don't think that of you. Because the image you have of yourself can be totally different than the image someone has of you. And it's a flip the script moment as well. You can portray this image that other people view you, but inside that is not who you really are. And it hinders you from fully being yourself. And so I want us to go on this journey to really discover, why do we see ourselves this way? How do we understand when purpose is activated in us? How do we align that with the vision? And how do we align it with our identity? You can have a person lay hands on you. You can have a person prophesy to you. But if you view yourself in a negative light, if you view yourself as nothing, you become nothing. If you view yourself as the person that's always the last one out, the first one to be let go, the last one to be hired, that is who you become. Adam didn't have to discover his purpose because when God spoke, it activated his purpose. When he began to receive the word, and the Lord told him to name the animals, right? He believed what God said about him, that he could do it. And so therefore, in that moment when he received that, he did it. And it becomes natural. So tonight is about identity. It's about shifting your identity. Many of us have many different times we have shift our identity. Many times we have been this to this group of people, this to another group of people. But tonight, I want to help you. Let's determine who we really are. Let's determine what God says about us. Let's determine if we are that person that we desire to truly become and what that looks like in our life, right? So your identity must match the level you are praying for. You cannot pray on one level and then have a different identity. For example, you cannot pray for greater income, but you identify as a broke, poor person. You cannot pray for bigger opportunities, and then when the opportunity comes, you got to say, I got to go pray about it. I don't know if the Lord want me to do this. Have you ever met someone so scared to do anything? It takes them a whole year to make a decision. And these are believers. I'm not talking about the unbeliever. I'm talking about believers. And you have people who don't go to church, don't hardly believe that much, but an opportunity will come, they'll jump on it, and there they go. Their Zoom takeoff. And then you have people who believers who pray and fasting, and God will send an opportunity their way. And trust me when I tell you, they will wait and wait and wait to guess what, the moment has passed. And they look back over their life and they say, wow, that was probably an opportunity. That probably was a God moment, but I rejected it. Have you ever been in a situation in your life where you just wanted more, and then when more came, you was like, oh, this is too much. Y'all wanted more from me. Y'all wanted too much from me. People who have prayed for increase on their job, a promotion, and then when the promotion come, they'd be like, no, this is working me too hard. This is a little bit too much. What do you identify as? What do you see yourself as? What is your true identity? You have to now match the two. If you want a promotion and that promotion requires you to do something different than you did before, do you truly want that promotion? You have to now go into the frame of mind of who am I becoming? It was a saying that I heard from Jim Rohn, and he said, it's not what the job is doing for you, but it's what is who you are becoming being on that job. It's not what they're doing for me or can they give this to me, but it's who you're becoming. And so that is the question tonight. Who are you becoming on your job? Who are you becoming in your church? Who are you becoming as a leader? Who are you becoming in your family? Who are you becoming as a spouse, as a mother? Who are you becoming? What is your identity and who are you becoming? You must know these things. So your identity defines your capacity that you receive. For example, as the word of God said, do not be conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. This is a formula. You cannot renew your mind unless you are being transformed. You can't be transformed unless you are not conformed to this world. How do you not be conformed to this world? Is to understand who you are and whose you are, that you were bought with a price, that you are God's prize. You are his joy. You are the apple of his eye. You are his son, his daughter, and he loves you. He wants the best for you. You have a view of God that says, oh, he's going to punish me and life is over because I made this mistake. But he's saying to you, I'm here for you. I'm here with a love, an everlasting love. I died for you. And so I want you, even in this moment, to wake up, to shake yourself out of the place of despair, to shake yourself out of this place of, I'm never good enough and things never working out for me. Don't be conformed to this world. Don't fall into this system that you're not good enough unless dropping it low, right? You're not good enough unless you scheming somebody. You're not good enough unless you're making $10-15 million a year. Do not be conformed. Who you think you are is who you become. Be ye transformed by the renewing. The only way you can be transformed is that your mind is renewed. How do you renew the mind? You must understand old way and new way. So transformation doesn't start with just the environment, right? You can move from people, you can distance yourself from people. It starts in the mind, because if you still think of yourself as the battered woman that was beat by her husband, beat by a family member, if you're that battered man that was harmed by their wife, or joked on at school, or even be by your parents, if you still identify that's who you are, you'll be forever chasing, trying to run away from that and never leaving anywhere, still, being in the same spot. So you must understand that your identity must be renewed before your life can change. How many books have you read? How many words have you received? How many prophecies have you received? How much word have you read? How many prayer nights you have prayed, and still you're limited, and still you haven't made it. It's still you're in the same place over and over again. What is the issue? It's your heart. It's what you think in your heart that you are. It's the law of identity. When Christ say, who do you think that I am? Who do you say that I am? Because whatever you say that I am to you, that's who I become to you. If he was everything to all men, it's because of what we view him as to us. So when you think in your heart, I'm limited, I'm not enough, this isn't for me, the life you build matches that identity you believe. You won't see bigger income or bigger favor or even greater purpose until you get into a place where you're ready to shift your identity. Many times in my life, I have shifted my identity. When I was younger, I was very observant, right? I observed everyone. I didn't do a lot of talking. I probably asked a lot of questions, but I was just observing people. That's pretty much what I did when I was younger. As I began to go into the teenager phase, I got saved, right? The Lord saved me at age 15, and my life transformed. But I began to be a little more vocal. But before 15, probably around the 12, 13, 14, or even 11 or 10, those years, I was very much um, vocal on what I believe. I was very vocal on my resolve. I didn't impose on other people's beliefs, but you can tell me to do something I didn't want to do. You just could not. I had my own thoughts, my own mind. And so when I got saved at 15, the Lord did a great transformation on me. Where I used to be a little critical, I was more gentle. Where I used to be a little bit more judgmental, I was a little open, right? Even though religion, if you stay in religion long enough, you'll end up being back judgmental, right? So those were the things that I did some identity shift. And then, hey, I go off to school, and then I'm the girl who loved Jesus, and all these people getting saved on campus, and I'm CC, and people love me, and people are following me. You can do many identity shifts. Then I go into my profession. I graduate college, I go into my profession. I became, Miss Mac. I was the teacher that will tap your leg with a ruler, okay? I was Mama Mac to a lot of kids out there that felt like, oh my goodness, this woman has this Southern drawl, but she don't play, but her class is fun. So I had a wait list to my class. That's how much I love teaching. And then I did another identity change. I did a shift. I became a director. I was a little more serious as a director. I wanted things to be done with a certain way. I definitely believe in the spirit of excellence, because my supervisor that I had, she was into that. So I became that as well. I was a little more graceful when they had issues. So I wasn't like stern that way, but I definitely wanted the work to be done at a level that when people will look upon a program, they will see that we really love these kids. So I had a lot of different identity shifts in my life. Then I became Mrs. Bishop. I got married and I became this woman of God that, which I was always before, but this woman of God who could reach even more people, who now have a platform to speak, who now sees life differently. I'm more in my womanhood now. I can move with grace. I don't have to move with anxiety. So I'm saying this to you is that go through the journeys in your life where you have done an identity shift. And some things you lost along that journey, and some things you gain along that journey. And now we want to put all the experience, the good and the bad, and we want to see where we are right now. Who are you right now? I want you to close your eyes and I want you to just right now, who are you with family? Are you the peacemaker? Are you the one who is the trailblazer? Are you the one to try to put people together? Are you the one who just kind of standoffish? Are you the one that's raising hell? Which one are you in the family? If you are a spouse, a loved one, or well, I say a spouse, whether you're a wife or a husband, who are you in that relationship? If you're a girlfriend, boyfriend, who are you in that relationship right now? Right now, I just want you to picture that. Who are you if you are a mother, if you're a father, right? Who are you to your children? What is that identity? What does it look like? Okay, are you wore out? Are you stressed? Are you absent? Are you checked out? Are you there? Are you at your week's end and you need help? What is that? What is that identity there? On your job, who are you? What type of co-worker are you? What type of worker are you? What type of employee are you? What type of employer for those who are entrepreneurs or business owners? What type of work are you? What type of business owner are you? I want you to just kind of pull these different categories and begin to identify. And what I want you to do is actually write them down. I want you to write down if this is something that is a positive impact. If it's a negative, I want you to write that down as well. I want you to see where you are right now. Right now. Because if you can be real with yourself right now, you can be real with your feelings, your emotions, your thoughts. This is going to help you to be able to gain a new identity. Okay? Because identity is not just a label. It's something that's unlocking in you that you're able to receive and you have the capacity for what God has for you, right? So I want you to do that really quick. Where are you? Where are you? Family, okay? With your friends, what type of friend are you? A dependable friend, an absent friend, a friend that, stick it closer to the brother? Are you a friend, when a friend, this is the saying they say, a friend in need is a friend indeed, right? So when that friend, you can call on that friend when you are in need, that is a friend indeed. What type of friend are you? You don't have friends and you desire to have friends, we can deal with that as well. Okay. Right now, are you absent? Are you closed? Are you not letting people in? You're not showing who you really are. What type of friend are you? What type of family member are you? What type of lover are you? What type of relationships you have? What type of employee, worker are you? These are the areas. What type of parent, if you have any children, right? These are the areas I want you to go through in your life. Just double check, just every area. What type of person are you when it comes to finances, right? Are you a person that saves very well? Are you frugal? Are you a person that's very just giving? You give all the time, right? Are you a person that budgets well? Are you a person that mismanage money? Are you a person that don't know what to do with money because you never was taught? So as soon as it comes into your hand, is this as fast as it leave your hand? These are areas in your life you want to identify, because once we identify this, we're able to say, this is what I was and this is what I'm becoming. Okay. All right, we're going to move right along with that, but we'll deal more with that in a couple weeks. Okay, we'll deal with a little bit more with that. So you can't walk in promotion, in favor, or even influence if you're still operating out of the old identity. So you have to now transform into the place that you want to be. For example, I remember when I was a teacher, and I was a teacher for maybe 5 years, but before the 5 years, I saw myself as the director. I saw myself as a person in leadership. I saw myself as a person who able to implement systems, because I felt like it was so many things that it just was no systems, right? And I was like, I can create a system to make this work better. And so instead of me going to people and saying I could do this, I became it. I began to work a system in my own classroom. I began to be vocal in those teachers' meetings. I began to show that I am who I say I am, right? And when you do that, you're able to, excuse me, you do that, you're able to go into that identity. So instead of me being a teacher that, hey, I'm just this type of teacher, and, I'm just going to stay in my lane, I began to show more progress and more promising potential as a leader because I spoke up. And so after 5 years of teaching, I became a director, right? And I did that about maybe another 5 years and maybe another 14, or maybe I did that for 7 to 8 years, maybe so, 8 or 9 years probably. And so I'm saying to you, where are you? Let's pull the new now. We're going to leave the old, but we got to move into the new. And so I had to begin to go into a new identity. I wasn't just the girl who was in college. I wasn't the girl who was a teenager. I wasn't the girl who was a little girl. That back in the day, I was the one that was teaching the class, or I was the one that was now leading the department. You have to go in the identity. Anytime you want to manifest greater, you want something greater, you praying for something greater in your life, you have to become that. So everything you plant, your thoughts, your prayers, the seeds, which we talked about, the seeds that turn into roots, that turn into fruits, right? They turns into the gateways that have access to you. This is the same thing. It filters your identity. And if your identity is saying that you lack something, you don't have enough of something, your harvest is going to reflect lack. If your identity says, I declare that I'm abundant, your harvest is going to begin to bend towards that increase. When you say blessings come to me, expected, unexpected ways, guess what? Life is going to answer to you. And that transformation is going to begin in your life. And guess what? When you get revelation, you get the transformation, then you get manifestation. So when you begin to know and examine that, oh, that's the old me. I was sitting at the table in Memphis, and it was this young lady, beautiful young lady, great personality. My husband calls her name all the time. Her name is Amber. And Amber was at the table, and her sisters and people, her mom, everybody was at the table, and they were saying something. And Amber said, no, that's the old Amber. This new Amber don't do that. This new Amber ain't about that. And I thought that was so, one, hilarious, because she's just funny in ways. She just got a great sense of humor. But in the flip side of that, I said, wow, that is very much like standing your ground to say, no, that was what I used to do. I'm somebody different now. So she truly was walking in. So a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. And she became that Amber. Whatever that Amber, new Amber is, we don't know the old Amber, so we only know the new one. And so this is how you walk into a new identity. You can pray on one level, but identify on another level. This is where the conflict is. So many want greater income, they want a bigger opportunity, they want higher influence, but they're still acting like an old version of themselves, right? That keeps shrinking, that filled with doubt, that hides everything, that's hesitant to even love people or let people love them. I remember sending money to somebody, and they was like a couple of days later said thank you. And then I did something else special for them, and it was kind of like I didn't hear anything. And then maybe I might mention something, and they said, oh yeah, thank you for that. I was getting so offended by that, but I started thinking, you know what? They don't even know how to respond to kindness. Some people think that it's ulterior motive. They think that you want something from them and they don't even know how to respond to it. So instead of me being frustrated or offended because that person didn't give me the quick response of, oh, thank you, I begin to say, Lord, you free them. Lord, you help them. You liberate them, that they'll understand how to receive love. Now, these are believers, supposedly, or churchgoers, because you can fake in church, but you can't fake in kingdom. That's my position on that. But they don't know how to receive greater. They don't know how to receive it because they have so many walls and so many blocks there that they do not even know how to receive it. So you cannot manifest what you do not have the identity to sustain. You can't manifest it. For John 1 verse 12 says, he gave them the right to become. Become is identity. Somebody put that in the chat. To become is identity. So he gave them the right to identify as the sons of God. He gave them the right to identify as something greater. He gave them the right to be a better version of themselves in this lifetime. He gave them the right to walk in a room and feel confident that who you are is okay and you are okay to be here and you have the right to be in that room. See, he gave them the identity to walk boldly. He gave them the identity to stand their ground. He gave them the identity to be the best, to manifest greater. So, in order to break the agreement of the old version of you, before you can break through, before you can get the increase, before you can get the promotion, before you can almost enjoy the favor on your life, you have to say, like, the old me has expired. That person is gone. She don't live here anymore. Whether that's when you was a child and you was overlooked and picked on. I remember being bullied in school, and I never shared this with my parents or my grandmother, whoever I was staying with at the time, because it's just, I never did. And I remember we was at home and we didn't have the means to wash our clothes. So I remember I had these socks and I had to wash the socks and they were white, but I washed them in the tub and I washed them in the tub, right? And I hung them up to dry, and at school I wore them and I had shorts on. And I thought my socks looked really clean. They was clean, but I thought they looked white and they didn't. So they looked dingy, and I wore them dingy socks to school thinking, because they was cleaner than they were before, and I thought they was whiter, but them lights at school are different. They show you up, right? But anyways, so I remember wearing these socks and I got bullied the entire day. In Memphis, they called check. I got checked on. So people was checking me left and right. They was laughing. They was checking me. I was being bullied, all that kind of stuff. And I remember thinking, like, I'm never going to wear shorts again. It wasn't even about the shorts. It was about the socks. And I end up developing this complex for some reason. And so when you keep identifying with the girl or the boy that was hurt, that was bullied, that was identified this way, that was picked on, you can't be the beautiful or the handsome version of yourself because you keep identifying that. So when I went through my season, I had to drop those old habits. I had to drop those old ideologies. I had to drop those old roots that turn into fruits in my life. I had to pluck up those seeds. I had to say, that girl is no more. I can buy this pair of socks I want to. I can wear whatever I want to. I can walk in a room and know that I'm fine with who I am. I dress for me, not you. Because I remember a time in my life where I could not dress for me. I had to put on what was available to me at the time. So I want you to reflect on that. Whatever in your life that you had to dumb yourself down or be less than or make yourself small, you need to now say and put on that paper, she has expired, he has expired, he is no more, she is no more. Now, in order to rewrite your story, you now have to have a new story to write. And that's what we're going to do with the identity shift on tonight. I had to walk like who God said I am before anything was around me that could support that. I had to become the better version of myself and identify the shifts before I saw the result of the shift. You have to come, like I said, I had to become the director before I became the director, right? I had to become that woman of grace before people saw the woman of grace. So I'm saying it to you today. You have to go into that place now. We got 42 days left. We're not going to be the same people. You're not going to be the same person. So you have to identify. I mean, you have to do an identity shift. You have to. So transformation begins within. Somebody put in the chat, my transformation begins within. As I said before, be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. It's a mental alignment. When identity changes, your habit change. I want you all to put this in the chat and write in your notes. When my identity change, my habit change, my language change, my expectation change, my environment begin to change, my income change, because you're not being the same person. So this is why the next 42 days require a new version of you. So let's do role play. Let's go into that role play. You got the number one spot. You are shining. You are the star of your story. Got to do the role play. I want you on a separate sheet of paper to begin to identify the new version of you. What does she or he looks like? What is she wearing mostly? What does she look like from head to toe? What does the income look like for her and him or him? What does that look like for you? You must see yourself wealthy now. And anyone who said they don't want to be wealthy, God bless you. That means this is not for you. I'm only talking to people who want to be wealthy, who see themselves wealthy, who see themselves favored, right? Who see themselves capable before it shows up. Don't wait for you to shout for wealth or shout with joy because you're wealthy until you get wealthy. No, you're wealthy now. Money follows your belief system. It's people who can care less about what money they got in their pocket and they're completely happy. It's people who got a whole bunch of money and they keep counting like it's going to lose them. But then you got some people who don't have any money and they will never have money because they're going to always identify as a person with no money. Your identity determines your behavior. You don't remain consistent. If you don't remain consistent because you're not disciplined, you'll never see the results. The discipline is within. I must never vacillate and think that I'm back to a poor girl who can't buy or wear clean socks. I can never go back to her, right? You must remain consistent before you become the person who you desire to become. Before someone who is, you have to become that person now. Let me say it again. When you remain consistent because you become someone who is consistent, not trying to be consistent, not desiring to be consistent, it's because you are. This is the time for the identity shift right now. Back to it on paper. Look at your areas, everything you wrote down before. Now I want you to do an opposite for that, and something you truly believe, not nothing you trying to do for the sake of wishful thinking. No, I see myself walking in a room. I see myself being able to bless many, many people. I see myself looking at my bank account and I see millions of dollars. I see that I'm an investor. I see that when I walk in the room, I'm healthy, I'm wealthy, I'm loved. I have great relationships. I have great friends who love me, right? I have great support in everything I do. See, you got to begin to rewrite your story and walk into your new identity. So we want you to do role play. What is your What's your storyline, right? Let's think about, and I'm wrapping up. Let's think about reality TV, right? Think about, let's see, reality TV. Let's think about the Real Housewives of Atlanta, okay, or Basketball Wives. I'm not sure all the rest of them that's out there, but let's think about the storyline. We find out that this is the storyline for the season, and that's what they're going to talk about with that individual for the entire season. That's their storyline. For this 49-day, which we have 42 days left, what is your storyline? And I want you to make your storyline to be that version of yourself that you're striving to become. That's what I want you to be. I want you to walk like you are the superstar right now. I want you to walk as you are the director right now. I want you to walk as you are the great business owner right now. I want you to walk as you are the successful entrepreneur right now. I want you to walk as the successful wife or husband right now. I want you to walk as if you got tons of friends who are calling you up, who wants to see about you because they love you. They want to connect with you. They want to hang out with you. I want you to see that person now. I want you to become her right now. And I know you say, Lady Bishop, I don't know if I can do that because I'm feeling depressed. No. That reality is what you create. Every day you create the reality you want. So I'm saying to you, for the next 42 days, we're going to do role play. You're going to be the one that got the wealthy money. When you see something that in the store that right now it look like you can't get because your reality haven't caught up, right? With your manifestation, you want to say, man, I can afford that. And not only I can afford it, I'll get it later when I want to buy more. You got to begin to role play. I want you to create your storyline. And when you create your storyline, I want you to put in the chat, I created my storyline and it's good. Baby, you can read it. It's sweet. Oh my. It's a good read. I'm creating mine even now. That in the next 42 days, I'm walking in it because I'm already. So when it happens, I don't have to be shocked about it. When it happens, you ain't got to sit here and say, oh my God, you didn't know. You had already become. You had already did it. You must see yourself wealthy now. You must see yourself favored now. You must see yourself capable right now before it shows up. Before it shows up. So your identity is going to determine your environment. Once identity is upgraded, right? Once it upgrades, you stop fitting into the rooms that stunt your growth. Ooh, put that in the chat. Once my identity is upgraded, I stop fitting into rooms that stunt my growth. Identity determines your manifestation, right? It determines the speed of your manifestations. For example, when you identify your thoughts, your habits, your actions, and all of this aligns, then manifestation is going to accelerate in your life. Even though we're always manifesting, but we are intentionally manifestors. Remember, that was the previous lesson. So it's no resistance, there's no conflicts, right? No sabotage, none of that's happening. I want you to repeat after me. The old version of me has expired. She no longer exists. He no longer exists. I'm new. I'm restored. I stand in truth. Come on. I'm stepping into the identity that matches the life God ordained for me. My thoughts arise. My thoughts are elevated. My habits are elevated. My expectations are elevated. My capacity is elevated. I'm becoming the person who manifests greater every single day. Every day, I'm manifesting greater. So I decree and declare over you today, you will not shrink for anyone. You will not apologize for evolving. You will not return to the cycles that God delivered you from. You will not identify as something less than, but your identity is strengthened. Your purpose is activated. Your mind is aligned. Come on, somebody say, my mind is aligned. And your spirit is stabilized. It's accelerating. It's growing, it's stronger. I speak to you today. He's strengthening you in this identity shift. He's strengthening you in this identity shift. He's renewing your mind, number one. He's causing you to feed yourself nothing but truth, not feelings, not emotions, not what happened today, not happened tomorrow, but you're feeding yourself the truth of your created reality. Remember, that's your storyline for the next 42 days. And I want you to write it out seriously, top to bottom. Faith, family, fun, home life, whatever, job, all these different categories we talked about. I want you to speak the scriptures over your mind, okay? Don't feed into the systems of this world, the social media that tells you nothing. Remind yourself you are changed no matter what it looks like. No longer are you limited by old stories that's on repeat, repeating the same cycle over and over again in every relationship. No, that stops here. I speak and decree and declare, no longer will you see yourself small or overlooked or overworked or not belonging, but you are chosen. Come on, make the declaration right now. I am chosen. I am positioned. I belong in the kingdom. I belong to live a great life. It's who I am. Come on, it's who I am. It's who you are. That you're transforming by the renewing of your mind. That you're pulling off the old self in Ephesians 4:22, verse 4:22 to 24. You're putting off the old man and you're putting on the new man. You're putting on the new life right now. Right now. You don't got to go through no long thing. Right now, you are role playing. Set your mind on the things that are above and not the things that are beneath. Not the things that makes you feel less than, but that are above. So right now, I want you to repeat after me. I reject the old identity of limitations and lack. I receive my new identity that's worthy, that's chosen, that's prosperous, that's destined for greatness. My mind is renewed. My vision is activated, and it's harvest time for me. Then I want you to write this down. 3 identity lies that you believe. 3 lies that you believed about yourself. And I want you to then write 3 scriptures based on truth, replacing them. I am what he said I am. I can do what he said I can do. I can do all things through Christ that strengthens me. Begin to replace them. Make them your anthem for the next 42 days. I want you to look through that. Put a post-it on your mirror when you wake up in the morning or in your car. You have to continue to see what you're trying to reprogram, because the old program is not going to go that easy. The old program is not going to let you kick it off and reboot. It's going to fight for dear life. So you're going to speak it daily. Okay? That's morning, afternoon, and night. Until it sinks in, until that identity begin to believe, right? So I speak over your spirit right now, and I dismantle every lie that has defined you. You're being redefined right now. I tear down the old labels, the labels of fear, the labels of shame, the labels that tells you that you're not enough. I speak to you today that you're rising up, the new you, that you're clothed in favor, that you walk in authority, and you have the capacity to be a better version of yourself. I speak to you today that your identity is shifting. Even on tonight, is shifting. Your destiny is aligning with the purpose of God for your life. I decree and declare that doors are opening. The contracts are finding you. Promotion is finding you. People are searching for you. You have value and you add value to the kingdom of God. Whatever that is in the marketplace, be it in the religious space, I speak and decree and declare that you are increasing in value. You have the influence. You have the impact. Nothing shall hinder you. Nothing shall stop you. And nothing shall block you. Not because of what you used to be, but because of who you're becoming. And I speak to you today that you're going to manifest greater. You're going to walk in your purpose. You're going to live in greatness. You're going to experience the love of the Lord daily in your life. If you receive this prayer, I want you to type in, I accept my new identity. If you receive this declaration, type in, I accept my new identity. I want you to share this link with someone who needs to be free from old labels, right? Who needs an identity shift. Hit the subscribe button, because the next 42 days is going to demand a new you. Be ready. Greatness is calling you. I am Lady Bishop. Thank you. Have a wonderful night. I'll see you tomorrow.